Greetings, everybody. My name is J Kuper, and I'm the co-founder of Brokerage Engine. Brokerage Engine is the leading back office system for residential real estate brokers, where we cover commissions, accounting, compliance, and a whole suite of products really geared and aimed at helping brokers and their staff support agents and clients in the field. I've been a real estate broker myself for over 16 years, and we desperately needed a solution like Brokerage Engine. And so we built it. And today, hundreds of brokers across the country use it every day to really manage their brokerage as well. We're very passionate about the brokerage space and really want to continue to see it succeed. And we believe we can do that by arming like-minded brokers with incredible tools to help give that support that our agents deserve and our clients desperately need. So today we're going to be talking about commissions. One of the things that I think Brokerage Engine does the absolute best, and really the onus of why we built Brokerage Engine to begin with, is calculating commissions for our agents, for our advisors. We have an amazing accounting team at our brokerage. They were managing at first 30, 40, 50 different agents and the commission schedules that went along with those agents. And then eventually it was hundreds of agents spread across multiple markets. And what we found very quickly is that managing all those commissions for all of those agents became very cumbersome. And the things that we thought were true, things that we thought we were doing correctly, we really came to realize we were doing incorrectly. So I'm going to talk today about a couple really key parts about the commission schedule management and really calculating commissions for a brokerage. Mainly why commission errors happen more often than brokers realize, because it certainly was happening for me, and what the real cost of manual commission calculations is. And I'll break that down today in this episode. So first, let's talk about commission calculation errors and really commission schedule errors and why they happen at all. So if we look at the modern real estate brokerage, most traditional brokerage models, even profit sharing models, even fee-based models have the view that they have limited sets of compensation plans. A lot of times, and I would even say this, if you asked a broker, how many commission schedules do you have at your brokerage? Most of us would answer, oh, I just have 2 or 3. I have this version or that version, and agents pick. But when you really dig into the commission schedules within a brokerage, you realize that exceptions are made quite often within a brokerage. I'll give you an example. You might say that if you are an agent with our company, you start at a 50-50 split until you give us $15,000 of company dollar, and then you go to a 90-10 split. Every agent in our firm has a $100 transaction fee, and that is our compensation plan. But when you look at how it's administered, Agent A might have had an exception made where they don't pay the $100 fee. Agent B might actually get to start at a higher split, like 80-20, so it's an exception to that first plan. And then they go to 90-10, and Agent C might be able to bypass all the rules and just start at a 90-10. And so while it seems like you have one compensation plan, you really in that case have 3 or maybe even 4 compensation plans. The variables or the variations make a big difference. And this is the first place that errors happen the most that we see. Now, as we've been working with brokers so long, not just our own brokerage, but hundreds of others, is that a compensation plan is established, and that's what essentially gets put into place, but with exceptions. And so when it comes to paying out those commission schedules or those plans, when it comes time to close a transaction, because of these exceptions that have been made and variations or variables to the rule, it's very hard to actually pay out accurately, because the person in accounting is just scratching their head wondering, hey, what exception is this? How is this going to work? How does this really play out when I'm supposed to pay out this agent? Sometimes someone in accounting will call whoever set up that comp plan and the exceptions to it. That could be the broker owner, that could be a sales manager, it could be a recruiting manager. But sometimes when it's in the heat of the moment and an agent's ready to get paid and accounting's ready to close a transaction, a lot of times we see that those verifications or those validations don't actually end up happening. And so accounting will just pay based on how they see the compensation plan works, even if there's an exception made. So that's first and foremost one of the easiest ways errors happen within a brokerage, is that those compensation plans have variables or variations to them, and accounting just gets confused. It struggles with how to pay, is pressed up against a timeline, and they pay out anyway, sometimes inaccurately compared to what was really thought of or what the intention was from whoever set up the comp plan originally. Second ways that commission errors happen and compensation plans happen more often than brokers realize, broker owners and managers realize, is where those compensation plans are stored. So I know lots of brokerages, mine was no exception, that would store all an agent's compensation structures for their whole brokerage within an Excel spreadsheet, or sometimes a project management solution, or sometimes an outdated real estate accounting solution, one that was built decades ago. And it's hard for an agent, for the brokerage to find the right compensation plan for the agent and manage that compensation plan through its various stages. So let me give an example of a compensation plan that hopefully seems familiar to you if you've had one of these. There's a lot of graduating compensation plans from our clients that we see. One where the agent starts the year or starts their year at a certain split based on sales volume, GCI, or company dollar. Then as they increase in one of those metrics, i.e. their GCI increases over time or they hit milestones, that compensation plan then escalates to a higher split. So you might start at a 50-50 split, and then once you hit a certain GCI threshold, you go to a 70-30 split. Then again, if you hit a higher GCI threshold, you go to a higher split, say a 90-10, and maybe that's where it maxes out. Whether it's that particular scenario or one like it, the escalating comp plan happens quite often within residential brokerages within the US, especially clients that we work with. But the trick can come in is if you're managing a compensation plan like that on a spreadsheet. So if you've got a spreadsheet that's trying to tell you where those breaks are, i.e. when the GCI switches you from one split to another, or the agent that is from one split to another, that's a lot for one, staff member who's in accounting, whether it's your head of accounting or somebody trying to manage the payouts, to try to manage that for every single agent within the brokerage. So whether you have 10 agents or 1,000 agents, when those things come to pay and you're having to manage those thresholds within a spreadsheet, it can be difficult. So let's do somewhat of a real world example. Let's say that you have an agent in the company that is about to cross over a threshold and they've got $1 million transaction. That transaction easily puts them over the threshold. So part of the GCI that's contributed should be at a lower split, say 50-50, and the remainder of the GCI should be paid out at a higher split, say 70-30, because they've met their GCI requirements in the middle of one single transaction. We've heard of some brokers and have worked with some brokers that have a rule that 100% of that payout is actually paid on the lower split. But most brokers will honor the fact that part of that split is paid out at one, or that transaction in the GCI, part of it is paid out on one split and the remainder is paid out on another. This is quite a big lift for someone to do in a manual process, say using a spreadsheet or notes on their computer about how the compensation plan should be paid out. A lot of manual calculations are required to make sure that they're accurately being paid. And if staff is able to get that right, which there's lots of very capable finance and accounting departments within brokerages across the country today, it's still very time consuming for them to do and a little bit nerve-wracking to make sure that they are absolutely paying out right. It's a little bit of a guessing game combined with a little bit of using the calculator or Excel to make sure that they're calculating those transitional plans the proper way. And so that can be very difficult to do. So therefore, having a system that does it all for you and calculating it all automatically for you is very important, but very easy to miscalculate a commission that way. So let's talk about the cost of these errors, the cost of manual commission calculations when you're just using your calculator or Excel or an outdated, commission solution that are available. The real easy answer is overpayment of commissions. So I learned this years ago, even though we absolutely adore and love our agents that we're working with day in and day out, if you overpaid an agent, that's something they're probably not going to flag or even realize happened. So if you are in the business or process of calculating an agent's commission and you overpay, say by $1,000 because you didn't graduate the agent on their commission schedule properly, or they didn't get reset, more likely back to the original plan, the agent just might not recognize that. So you might go overpaying agent and the agent just doesn't see that ever happened. They're none the wiser, but you are making less money as a broker. So that's first and foremost very easy to find. And we see this quite a bit when people graduate and come onto our system, is that we go back and look at previous payouts from commission calculations. And very frequently we see where agents were overpaid because the way the commission was calculated was done inaccurately. The second part is also part of this process, is the reset of these schedules is not always very well managed. So many agents will reset at their anniversary dates with when they join the brokerage and not on a calendar date. We very rarely see brokers resetting all their agents on their commission schedules on, say, January 1st or set dates. It's typically based on when that agent joined the company, and that's when their resets happen. But if there's not a great way to reset those commissions for an agent, or there's not great reminder system to do that, the agent frequently gets paid out at a much higher split, i.e. they were at a 90-10 split because they graduated to that within the year. They should reset all the way back to, say, a 70-30 split or 80-20 split, but they didn't because there was no system to help them manage that. Once again, that results in an overpayment to the agent typically, and then an embarrassing exchange that you have to have with the agent to say, hey, I overpaid you, I need these funds back, or I need a portion of them back. Just not something that anybody on staff wants to do, or any agent really wants to hear from their broker on, that they got like they didn't get paid correctly. The opposite, though, can also be true. We frequently see where agents are underpaid because the commission plan wasn't calculated correctly, and agents very frequently figure this out very quickly, and then it helps to perpetuate the idea that maybe their broker isn't paying attention to all the details of their compensation plan, and or some frustration with the accounting department for the brokerage when the agent had higher expectations of how things should work. So they're frustrated with their brokerage because they feel like the brokerage isn't on top of the payouts that they are so desperately looking for and that they work so hard at. They want to make sure that every dollar coming to them gets calculated properly. So that can be an issue too. What all of these things point to is the need for automation. It's the need for a system that has all that functionality built in. All the commission schedules should be automatically put into a system, and then any of the graduation from one split to another or the reset of the commission plan should all be done automatically, that the system should be able to know when these escalations happen based on any factor like sales volume, GCI, company dollar, etc., and when, from a time perspective, things should be reset. So whether that's on anniversary days or calendar days or any day, you should have a system that knows that and knows how to calculate that stuff for you automatically and make those adjustments automatically, and not have to rely on someone to use a note or a spreadsheet to remember how to do that. The bigger you get as a brokerage, the harder it is to maintain those systems, and the more institutional knowledge everyone on your team has to have just to try to remember all those different parts, rather than just relying on a system that was specifically built to do this right each and every time. The thing that you also need, and that I've found super important, and this goes back to one of the first things I said in this episode, is that very frequently as brokers, we'll make exceptions on compensation plans. So while your brokerage might have 1, 2, or maybe 3 standard commission plans, very frequently we see these exceptions to those rules being made. Again, the exceptions could be very simple. Hey, instead of starting at a 70-30 split, we're going to start this agent at an 80-20 split. But you want a system that's flexible, that lets you put that into the system from the very beginning, where the exceptions can become the rule, and then the system knows how to calculate it accordingly. I've always said that it's okay to make these exceptions as long as you realize the implications of the exception. So you also want a system that calculates these things accurately and gives you reports accurately about what's going on with these commission schedules. And Brokerage Engine has all of that built in, from the automation of the commission schedule, the ability to maintain hundreds and hundreds of commission schedules if you have the need to do it, the ability to pay out on those schedules accurately each and every single time that a payout happens, and the peace of mind that everything's going to go to the agent paid correctly with the proper reporting and documentation. It's one of the things that makes Brokerage Engine great, is we can generate reports every time a payout happens for the agent, so they can see where they are on their commission schedule, how this particular payment came out, and where they need to go to get to their next advancement on their commission schedule, if that's something that a brokerage does, and frequently brokerages do, that we have seen. So again, we built a system that had our brokerage clients in mind and their staff, making it less stressful for an accounting department to have to worry about any of those details. So in the next episode, I'll be talking about how brokerages accidentally overpay and underpay agents, why accounting bottlenecks can slow down your brokerage growth, and what financial accuracy really means for a brokerage, because all these things are so important. But again, I'm J Kuper with Brokerage Engine. If you click the link below, we've got some links directly to connect with our team if you have any interest in learning more about Brokerage Engine and what we can do for you from a back-end support system that we've built here at Brokerage Engine. Thanks very much for tuning in today.